Words. They don't just communicate thoughts. They reveal the hidden things in our hearts. They don't just communicate ideas. They create worlds. The mouth and the words we say are a creative force that is not only used all the time, but everywhere we go. Our words are the very essence of how the Creator made us. Join us as we discover the essence of man and the power of speech. Hey, welcome to the Essence of Man and the Power of Speech, and today is day 46. And so today we're going to talk about no excuses. And somebody's like, well, shouldn't we start that on a few days ago? No, we're going to do it today. And here's why. Because some people think it's impossible not to speak evil. Well, there's just no way. You're just going to let a word slip every now and then. Well, you know what? If that is your attitude, then you've just revealed a whole lot about your character, and you've revealed a whole lot about how you look at your relationship with God. The goal is never to fail. The plan is to never fail. The thought is not to even think about falling or failing. So here's the thing I want you to see, is that when you start developing that concept, then you've never really truly had a desire not to speak evil. If you think that, well, we're just going to do it, and we're just going to have to understand that God's going to love us and God's going to forgive us, and then what you're saying is that is no discipline, that is no desire, not even to. You're already making your plan of escape for an excuse. Now, there are three things that happens when you think how you think, because what you think determines this: your belief, it determines your action. Now listen to this, but it also determines your reward. Your thinking is going to develop a belief pattern. Your belief pattern develops an action pattern. Your action pattern determines your reward pattern. If you have a thought about a certain way of living, then you will believe that is the right way to live. Therefore, you will carry out that belief in an action, and you will reap what you sow based upon that action. It is the progression. One builds the other. The thought builds the belief. The belief builds the action. The action determines the reward you get. And so this is the thing. If the thinking is, it's just impossible to speak evil, that's your thought process. It's impossible not to speak evil. It's impossible. We're just going to do it. That's your thought process. Therefore, that is your belief process. Therefore, your action is you will speak evil, but guess what? You will reap that reward. Now, you say, well, I don't know if I agree with that. Okay, well, let me ask you this. Why is it that we don't make excuses in trying to gain material things? You want a house, you want a car, you want a livelihood, you want to eat. You don't make excuses. You hungry, you gonna go eat. You gonna find something to eat. Even if you're poor, you're gonna find something. And you'll eat anything. So we don't make excuses when it comes to material things if we want something. If you're success motivated, you want a good job, you want a whatever. I mean, we don't make excuses. Matter of fact, some of us will throw a fit if we don't get what we want materially. Now, why is it that we make excuses? Why is it that we make excuses when it comes to spiritual maturity and spiritual things? Is it because of the fact we already know that we can be forgiven? Again, I allude to this fact. Don't let your freedom cause you to sin. Should we take advantage of this grace? Absolutely not, Paul says. Don't prostitute grace by saying, well, you know what? It's just impossible not to speak evil. We're going to do it. We're going to speak evil sometimes, and it's just going to happen. You've already set yourself up to fail. You've made the excuse to fail. Let's look at something. Look at Ecclesiastes. All right. Ecclesiastes, and let's look at chapter 9, and let's look at verse 10. Listen to this. Whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might, for there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave whither thou goest. If you can't fulfill it to perfection, do it to the best of your ability. In other words, don't say, well, I'm just going to mess up, and everybody do it to the best of. If you do it to the best of your ability, you're not going to worry about it if you fail or not. But notice what it says, whatsoever thy hand findeth to do, do it with thy might. Not with the thought that you may fail at it. For there is no work, nor device, nor knowledge, nor wisdom in the grave. In other words, when you die, there's no do-over. You don't get these chances back, so you've got to not make the excuse, and you've got to just strive for that perfection. You keep striving for it. Don't make the excuse, well, it's just going to happen. We're just going to have those days where we just, we're going to fail. And have I failed? Absolutely. But I sure didn't set myself up for it. If I failed, I failed. But I didn't say, you know what, today I might fail. So I tell you what, I just might. If you think that not speaking evil is impossible, you will always speak evil. But here's what you have to understand. You're going to reap that reward. And guess what? The reward that you reap will show you no excuse. It won't say, well, bless his heart, he didn't mean to speak that evil. That reward's going to come at you full blown, just boom. It's going to come at you full blown. It's not going to make an excuse not to find you, because you reap what you sow on this thing. Just like if you speak good, you get good. If you speak evil, you get evil. If you sow words of anger, you get the results of that. If you sow words of peace and edification, you get the rewards of that. Remember what I told you, this is not about being positive and being negative. That's not what it is. We're talking about a way of life that is creating worlds that either edify people or destroy people. They either build people or it demolishes people. It creates worlds of love or hate. It creates worlds of life or death. Death and life are in the power of the tongue. See, and this is the thing. You're either a shining torch in this, okay? You're either a bright light with your mouth, a shining light that reflects the image of God. Because remember, this is the thing about We were created in His image and likeness, able to speak these things, blessing people. And so here's the thing: you're either a shining light or darkness. If you're making excuses that this is impossible to do, then you've already set yourself up for the rewards of darkness, not the rewards of light. See, that's not the principle, because remember, listen to me one more time. Your thoughts determine beliefs. Your beliefs determine actions. Your actions reap the reward. Your thought determines belief. This is what's in my heart. What's in my heart is going to get done. And what gets done, I reap. See? Make no excuses. Whatever you find your hand to do, do it with all your might. Get up in the morning and say, with all my might, I'm going to guard my mouth. I will bless with my mouth. I will not curse with my mouth. I will be a blessing today. I will speak life. I will speak hope. I will not speak evil. I will quote the scripture today. You know what? You'll reap the reward for that. That's a good thing. All right. Hey, we'll see you next time on The Essence of Man and the Power of Speech.